The following stories are inspired by documented paranormal encounters. Some locations and identities may have been changed to protect the people involved. These stories may be disturbing for younger audiences, and listener discretion is advised. This podcast is based on true events.
I'm Dalia, she, they.
Hey, I'm B, she, they.
Hi, I'm Brandon, he, him.
And this podcast is based on true events. Hello.
Hi.
How are ya?
Good.
Is this our fourth one of the day?
It
yeah.
is.
Wow.
Yeah,
We're
good,
flying
We're
today.
making good
God
time,
damn.
yeah.
Mhm.
God damn.
You see what happens when we don't fucking yap all day?
Yeah. Maybe we
get
should do this
things
more
done
often.
as
We
long
can
as we're
yap
doing
after.
Mm-hmm. However, we are professional yappers, so
We
Yeah.
are professional yappers.
gotta keep it in check.
Yeah.
It's getting yappy. Vibe check. How are we doing?
I don't think I have a headache thing going on anymore. I think it suppressed itself.
Hell yeah.
That's really good.
I'm doing good. I'm doing all right. I'm mellow. Mellow minus the dramatic, you know?
I want soft serve ice cream. I'm low-key hoping for the ice cream truck to interrupt us again.
Which we did find a real one that came
There's a
through.
real
Yeah,
one that
that's what I'm
has
saying.
soft serve ice cream.
Would you
Yeah.
say the blue one is safe and the white one is the
Yeah.
scam one?
Yeah.
Yep. So right now I want soft serve ice cream and waffle fries? Question mark.
I
Want
want waffle fries.
Yes, exactly. How about you? What's your vibe check, B?
I'm chilling. Big chilling.
Chilling like a
yeah.
villain.
For being on our 4th episode, I'm in a surprisingly comfortable state overall. Usually by our 4th episode, I'm starting to get a little antsy. I've been in the same place too long. You
Yep.
know what I mean?
Because
Yeah.
we've been so quick. I
But-
think we should do this more often, and then we could like yap after or before if we
That's
want.
possible, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be nice. Just kind of
Yeah.
because we
Fly
all
through it
seem
real
better. Like, because I'm usually like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're usually 6
Slumped.
feet deeper into that couch.
yep,
But yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now.
cool.
Thank you.
Cool beans. What do you got for us today?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, I do have a trigger warning for today.
God damn it!
I'm so glad that I'm turning into a motivational speaker at the end of this episode.
Yeah?
Hell
Good.
Yeah.
That'll
yeah,
be nice.
Really.
My trigger warning today is for pet death.
Oh, great.
Aw, okay.
It sucks.
Is it like briefly mentioned, or is
So
it
I
like?
never try to go into detail. I
Okay.
never try to go into detail.
Okay.
Usually, I will get it in and out as fast as I can with as painless as possible because I don't like it either. You know what I mean?
Yep.
The
dog dies in this one, guys.
Skip to my story if you can't. If you're not in the headspace for it.
Yes, for sure. If a trigger warning is ever like, I don't want to deal with that, please feel free to skip to the next story. Just keep going till you don't hear my voice, and then you'll just those 15 seconds dip until it's Dalia going dip, and then you can figure it out. From there. Yeah.
You won't hurt our feelings.
No, yeah, completely understandable.
Mm-hmm.
So, we've had a lot of homes on this show with a lot of history. Hell, last episode we had one from England with priest holes in it from the
Yeah.
16th and 17th century.
Yeah.
But no history as recent as in this story, I don't think. So that's different.
Oh no.
I'm excited to hear how recent.
Yeah.
Well, not relative to us,
Oh, okay.
but relative to the person moving in. So, as told by the show A Haunting, I give you the story, The Family Before.
Great show.
St. Clair, Missouri. In the summer of 2012, Jamie and Darren Shriver were in the process of buying a condo when the unexpected happened. The sale fell through. The association had denied them last minute because of their 2 dogs, Bull and Lucy. They said that they did not allow pit bulls in their neighborhood. Agreed. Both Bull and Lucy were rescue dogs, and never once did the couple think of getting rid of them. They were family, after all. But this last-minute assholery left Jamie and Darren with a problem. They needed to find someplace fast, and they were willing to take the first thing that was offered to them. Thankfully, something was. Unfortunately, the house came with a bit of history. According to the newspapers and their neighbors, the story was that the family of 4 that had previously lived in the house had passed away from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Oh no.
With that on your mind, it's no wonder that from the moment they stepped foot inside the house, the couple couldn't help but feel like their every move was being watched. But the realtor assured them that a repeat of that incident was impossible due to the fact that all the gas lines had been gutted and ripped out after the tragedy. So, being desperate, the Shrivers decided to give it a shot. A few days after moving in, Darren is organizing some boxes in the garage when he comes across a small bicycle, obviously meant for a child. He feels his heart sink, realizing that it was most likely from the family before them who passed in the home. He questions if this was really the right decision for them. Jamie and Darren work opposing shifts, and Darren working a nighttime security job, which the third one in this recording session we've heard about somebody having a security job. And Jamie working in retail from 9:30 to 8 every day, so time together was more rare than they would have liked. On one of these rare nights, though, Darren sits in the living room watching TV as Jamie browses on a laptop in the kitchen at a kitchen table nearby. And when suddenly, Darren sees what appears to be a child's silhouette pass quickly by the TV. While brief, Darren says that the shadow was very distinct and even blacked out the TV completely as it passed by. He tells Jamie what he saw, but she just thinks that it's just his eyes playing tricks on him. Maybe all those night shifts are finally getting to him. Despite her dismissal, though, Darren remains adamant of what he just saw. One day, as Darren tries to get some sleep after one of his shifts, he starts to think he can hear a low, whispery voice calling his name. Thinking it must be Jamie, he lifts his head and for a brief moment sees what appears to be a woman with yellowish hair standing in his bedroom doorway. From what he can see, the woman has no facial features except for black eyes. Well, that certainly isn't Jamie, he thinks as he sits up in bed, but by the time he flings his legs over the edge, the woman's gone. Naturally, Darren checks the house but can find nobody else besides Jamie, who had been getting ready for work in a complete other area of the house. Nowhere near him. Darren tells Jamie that he thinks he had just seen the woman who died in the house. But between Darren's work and his sleep apnea, Jamie just thinks that he had a really vivid dream. As the two of them are waking up that Saturday morning, Darren is trying to convince himself to get out of bed by saying that it's time to feed the dogs anyway. As if in response to this, both him and Jamie, clear as day, hear a child voice say, "I want one." Jamie's first thought is to look out the window to see if any of the neighbor kids were around and had said it, but there was nobody in sight. That's when Darren tells her what she already knew but didn't want to believe. That voice had come from inside the house. It sounded as clear as if it had been right between them in the bed. Neither of them believed in ghosts, but with everything Darren had been experiencing and this voice they had both just heard, it was hard to just explain it away anymore. Were the souls of the family who passed in their homes still lingering after all? One night, Jamie is home alone in bed. She's just at the point where she was about to fall asleep for the night, when she hears a low, kind of raspy growl in her ear. Thinking it was her dog, Bull, she turns over to tell him to be quiet, only to see that none of the dogs are in the room with her at all. Coming to terms with her house being haunted, Jamie feels like she can coexist with whatever's in their home. She didn't feel threatened, and nothing had tried to hurt them after all. One morning, after working his night shift job, Darren is home sleeping when he is jolted awake by the feeling of something grabbing his leg and pulling him halfway down the bed. This concerned Darren a lot. He wasn't a small dude by any means. It would have taken a good amount of force for something to pull him like it did. As he recovers from the initial shock, Darren starts to feel a heat sensation on his leg where he had just felt himself be grabbed. And looking down, he can see a reddish handprint where the hand had been, or where the sensation had been. This incident confuses him. For what reason would the ghosts of the family have to do this to him for? Did he piss them off somehow? Or was this even them? Maybe something darker was going on in their house. Either way, for now, he decides to keep the occurrence a secret from Jamie. He didn't want to scare her, or he didn't want to scare his wife over what could have just been a one-time thing. A few weeks later, after the attack, Darren is plagued by reoccurring nightmares of something chasing him. These nightmares would cause him to wake up screaming, which in turn would wake up Jamie. As their sleep started to get more and more disrupted, the couple started fighting a lot more. Darren would start saying things that would upset Jamie. Jamie would fire back at Darren. Jamie says she couldn't count the number of times they would end up just exploding and screaming at each other. As the nightmares continued, they started putting a lot of strain on Darren's health, and he began to grow ill. His fatigue is compounded by constant nausea. While he tries to explain it away as a stomach bug, he can't help but wonder if he was experiencing the same feelings as the family did when they passed away. The symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning are very similar to flu-like symptoms after all. Headache, fatigue, dizziness, nausea, sleepiness. All traits are shared by both. A few days later, while still exhausted, Darren is back on his night shift. Jamie is out grocery shopping, and the dogs are at home in their crates. And because their dogs also tend to have Houdini complexes, these crates were also padlocked to make sure that they couldn't get out. As Jamie re-enters the home, with her hands full of grocery bags, she hears her home alarm going off. As she's busy trying to turn it off, she feels something rush by her legs, strong enough that it almost knocked her over. A moment later, before she could even begin to process what had happened, a honk from a horn from outside, a screeching of tires. Jamie rushes out to the street to find her dog Lucy had been struck and killed by a passing car.
Oh, man.
She was absolutely devastated. She calls Darren and he rushes home. As he cries with his wife, Darren asks her what had happened, to which Jamie sobs and says she has no idea both the dogs were padlocked into their cages in a closed bedroom in the back of the house. She didn't even know Lucy had gotten out. Darren goes to check out the room, but stops in his tracks at what he sees. The door to the bedroom that the dogs had been in stood wide open. Lucy's cage had been physically moved into the hallway, and the padlock was nowhere to be seen. In the back of the crate, they found some blood, and it was torn, and it looked like Lucy had chewed her way out. He calls Jamie back to look, and upon seeing everything, she says that this was something she knew that was when she knew, that something evil was in her house. Something had scared her dog enough. Something had pulled her dog's cage into the hallway and scared it enough to where it chewed itself out in order to get away from whatever this was. Jamie yells at whatever was in her home to leave through her tears. They were no longer welcome here. The couple decided it was time to actually do something about whatever was in their house. It was no longer something they could live with. In the coming days, Darren contacts an old acquaintance of his, someone we actually know. Not personally, but through this show I've heard of many times. Paranormal expert Steve LaChance.
I know
What
that
up,
name.
Steve?
Huh?
I know that name.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember where?
No.
The Screaming House, the Union Screaming House from I believe our second episode.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and he's appeared in stories before or since then as well. Who we know from when I covered the Union Screaming House, and invites him in to investigate. Steven says that the moment he saw Darren, he was shocked. It was very obvious that he hadn't been sleeping, and the usual happy-go-lucky vibe that he gave off just wasn't there anymore. Steven brings along Teresa Reevy, a sensitive, to conduct the investigation. Jamie tells Steven that she hopes they're able to help, especially because her and Darren recently found out that they have a child on the way. Jamie is pregnant.
Oh.
Having heard about everything that happened up to this point, Steven thinks that the activity in the house may be demonic in nature. While Steven prepares some equipment, Teresa starts her walk through the house. She says that as she walked through the house, she first picked up on the spirit of a woman who had died in the house. The woman who had died in the house. She says that this woman was very quiet and timid, almost like she was afraid of something. As she walks through the living room, Teresa sees a small figure roughly the size of a child rush by in the corner of her eye. She says that as she continued through the house, the air started to grow heavier and heavier, and it weighed down on her chest, making it hard to breathe, a very bad energy. She finds herself drawn to the room where the dog's kennels were kept, and says that the room was so full of negative energy that it made her feel sick to her stomach, like entering the room was like hitting a wall almost. Bull starts to whimper and shake in his cage, and out of the corner of her eye, Teresa sees movement. Turning around, she sees a cloud of pure darkness floating around the room. She can feel that this is an inhuman entity. She quickly lights sage to protect herself and starts fanning it at the cloud while saying prayers. The cloud moves quickly out of the room and Teresa gives chase. She loses track of it but finds the Shrivers and Steve LaChance in the front of the house while trying to get a response from the ghost box. For those who don't know, a ghost box is a piece of ghost hunting equipment that rapidly cycles through radio stations and radio channels, and the theory is that spirits can use the radio waves to manipulate and speak through it. Teresa tells the group that she's very sure that they were dealing with a demon in the house, and calls out for the thing to leave the house. Well, for the first time since starting it up, the ghost box gives a clear response. In a loud, clear growl, all they hear is a voice give a very drawn-out "No." Steven also starts demanding the thing to leave, and the same voice comes through the ghost box repeatedly saying, "No, no, no." Then suddenly, everything just stops. Teresa says that she could no longer sense the dark presence. She also says that she couldn't sense the woman or the children in the house anymore. She says that, but also says that just because they hadn't... Couldn't sense them in the house anymore either, but says that because they hadn't been targeting those spirits specifically, it was possible that they could just still be in the house. Jamie and Darren also agreed that they could no longer feel the dark presence, but it was like a weight had been lifted off their shoulders. Before leaving the house, Steven advises the couple to focus on the positive things in their life and not any spirits that may or may not remain in the house. Just put it out of your mind. Don't focus on it anymore. And the couple would do just that. In the spring of 2014, the couple gave birth to their son Andrew. Everything seems to be going well for the couple, but one evening, Darren has a lapse in judgment. Despite Steven's advice, he downloads a Ghostbox app to his phone. Darren's cousin had just passed away, and he was feeling really down about it. I can't really blame him for wanting to see if his cousin was still hanging around. While Darren didn't really think anything would come of it, he still booted up the app and asked if anything was there with him. Through the app came a voice that said, "Hi, Baldy." This put a smile on Darren's face. There was only one person in the world who called him Baldy. It was his cousin. Suddenly, for the first time in a while, Darren starts to see shadows passing by in the corner of his eye. As he's trying to get another response, Jamie walks in and sees what he's doing. She voices concern that stuff might start up again, and Darren deletes the app. No harm done, right? A few nights later, baby Andrew starts scream crying at 3 a.m. This wakes up Jamie, who's a little concerned by the noise. A little? She said it wasn't a hungry cry or an "I need a change" cry. It sounded like a cry that said, "I'm scared to death, come help me." She sits up in bed, but the crying immediately stops, leaving an eerie silence in the house. She goes into Andrew's room to check on him, only to find him not in the crib where he's supposed to be.
Oh no.
She searches the crib, pulling up blankets but finding nothing. As she starts to cry out, she wakes up back in her bed. The whole experience had been a nightmare. And similar nightmares like this would start happening night after night. All different, but all about something bad happening to Andrew. One night he would be kidnapped, another night he would be drowned in the bathtub, truly terrifying dreams to have about your newborn. One night, Jamie wakes up to the sound of Andrew crying again, but this time, she's not dreaming. She can tell that. But both Jamie and Darren rush to Andrew and can tell that he was terrified. And after this continued to happen night after night with their 6-month-old waking them up, screaming and crying in the middle of the night, the couple start to feel like whatever was in the house before had returned. Too ashamed to call back Stephen and Teresa, the couple contacts Pastor Fred Wells. And he and his wife Shauna agreed to perform a blessing of the family and of the house. Shauna's philosophy is that, quote, and this is direct quotes, I want to make that very clear. There are no good spirits.
Oh.
They're not supposed to.
It's this bitch,
yeah. Her philosophy is, I quote, there are no good spirits. They're not supposed to be here. I don't communicate with them. I don't care to know who they are, why they're there, what their name is. They're all evil, even if they appear to be friendly. My only job is to get rid of them. Which I couldn't agree less with, but there you go.
That's...
What a wild take, in my opinion.
It feels like a character. I think I said this, because she was dropping on when he was watching. I was like, it feels like a character because, I'm sorry to go on a small little thing here.
Yeah, you're fine.
But I feel like anyone with actual connection to spirits, that's a very hot take.
Yeah.
Which, I agree. But then again, her husband is a pastor. Maybe this is just kind of their philosophy. I don't agree with it, and I do not like it.
It's the Amish all over again.
It's Amish all over again, yeah. Fred and Shauna walk through the house, praying and anointing all the doors and windows with oil before ending with a prayer with the family. During this prayer, baby Andrew starts screaming from his room, and Shauna and Jamie go to check on him while the men keep praying. As they open the door to Andrew's room, Shauna stops Jamie from getting closer, saying that, quote, the demon is here. Shauna says that she could see a black cloud hovering over Andrew in his crib. Shauna then leads a prayer with Jamie to banish the presence, and it does seem to work. The cloud dissipates into nothing, and Jamie and Darren once again feel the heaviness disappear. Since that cleansing, the Shrivers' home has been completely free of paranormal activity. Their dog Lucy is buried near the house, forever a reminder for them of those dark days that once befell them. And despite what they went through, the family is happy, and the couple continues to grow closer together. So, what exactly was in the house? Was a dark energy attracted to the tragedy that befell a poor, unsuspecting family of 4? Or was this negative presence all there ever was in this house? And was it using the story of the family as a mask to try to get itself close to the Shrivers the whole time?
That's a scary thought. Because I was just under the impression that there was just multiple spirits there.
Which very much could be the case.
Especially because of the timid woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like if she was timid, she was scared of something. Well, it could have been the cloud, but at the same time...
Could have been an abusive husband.
Yeah.
When you die by carbon monoxide poisoning, you don't know what's happening.
No, because I assume usually how that works is people will go in their sleep.
Yeah.
They just won't know what's going on, but...
You can't smell it, you can't taste it, you're just dead.
I also feel like people who can see to the other side could be easily influenced if they know the story before walking through the house. So it's possible that the person who saw the timid woman was like, it was like she was afraid of something. It could have been just connecting the dots because she knew the previous story. She could have just been a very timid woman. You don't know.
Yeah.
It could have been a lot of things.
Could have been a lot of things.
Best part about this podcast, it's all speculation.
Yeah, for real. I believe it, but you don't have to, I guess.
Yeah.
No, I also found it very interesting that they didn't seem to, at least in the story they told this time, they might have told it in other publications that gave them more room to expand, but we didn't hear them picking up on any energies or seeing any entities or spirits of the husband that died in the house. All the children were like shadows, basically. The only one we really kind of see fully is the woman, and she doesn't have any facial features except for black eyes. And so there is a possibility maybe this was just this this dark entity that had been there, maybe masking itself with the story of that poor family.
Very possible.
That at least that is something that went through my mind while listening to this or watching this. But I got a few pictures if no one else has anything to add. This first couple will be our part of the chorus. So this first one will be Darren and Jamie. This is our couple who this happened to, right? And then the second one I'm sending, we have 4 people. The top two on the top. So the top two, we have Stephen LaChance and Teresa. I am blanking on her last name right now, but Teresa is up there. She's the first medium or sensitive that was in the house and first saw the black shadow figure. And then the bottom two, we have Fred Wells and his wife, who I am blanking on her name now too. Why am I blanking? Shauna, thank you. Fred Wells and his wife, Shauna Wells.
Shauna and I got beef.
Shauna and I got beef for another reason. While I was trying to get her picture, she won't stop moving her head around like this. Like, she very sassy body language. Like, I might say very and I just please stop moving, because give
me motion sickness.
Yeah, every screenshot is blurry, and this was the best I could get. And so those are them. Next up, we actually have the show's depiction of what the woman that Darren saw at the door to his bedroom looked like. So the woman who presumably died in the house. This is the show's depiction of that.
Interesting.
Next up, we have 2 depictions of what the black cloud looked like. The top one is when Teresa saw it, and the bottom one is when Shauna saw it above the crib. So imagine seeing that in your house. It feels very deliberate. It's blacker.
I'd rather not.
It's blacker than smoke, so it's hard to confuse the two. Plus, it's not coming from anywhere. It's just hanging, right?
Do you think it was I know obviously carbon monoxide isn't black. Do you think it was sort of doing that because of how the last family died?
Could be, maybe. Anything's possible. I didn't think about that, because we have had entities appear as clouds before, you know.
You can't fool me. That's Hexus from Fern Gully.
No, for real.
Oil and brine.
And then this last one is kind of bittersweet, but this is a couple pictures to commemorate Lucy. The top one is of Lucy and Darren together, and the bottom one is their memory box that they have with a picture of her and her collar in it.
Sweet girl.
The baby.
Yeah, very, very sad, that part. And just going out so horrified. I hate for that to have happened. Yeah. I can't imagine the sadness and the grief that they went through, especially feeling okay, this thing might be something we could live with, to this thing just caused our dog to not be here anymore.
Yeah.
To not be with us. And I can't imagine if I was in Darren's shoes, I would almost feel responsible, because I have what presumably is the first instance of this thing maybe being violent, and I didn't say anything, you know?
Yeah. And I feel if I was what was the wife's name? I'm blanking.
Jamie.
If I was Jamie, I'd feel guilty because I was the one with the door open right there. She didn't turn off the alarm. It wasn't her fault.
No, of course, it's neither their fault.
If you were in her shoes, you would feel guilt for having the door open.
I would for sure, even though how would you know?
Exactly.
In a normal situation, they are padlocked in and locked in a room. That should not have happened. And it was neither of their faults.
Yeah.
And I hope they don't live with that. But yeah, that's my story today. Dalia, or before we get any closing statements? No?
That was pretty...
It was a little rough. I'm sorry about
heavy.
that.
It's okay. So this next one. So this next one, I actually named In the Family, just because the title is similar to another title that we had this session. It wasn't that similar, but you'll see what I'm talking about. This, I'm just gonna dive right in.
Yeah,
because there's a lot to be said about this one.
Go for it, for sure.
It was written by someone called the username Rohan_MHTR, and it takes place in India.
Okay.
And the category is demons and possessions.
Great. Love that.
Exorcisms, stuff like that. So, I am Rohan, a 28-year-old engineer from Navi, Mumbai, India. I have been an avid reader on this forum for the last 5 years, but it's only now that I got some courage and time to express myself. Ever since I was a child, I have been fascinated by the spirit world and or supernatural phenomenon. I am sure many of you as kids used to share so many ghost stories, which may or may not be true, but left us all mesmerized and wanting for more. I still remember my school and college trips / camps when we all friends used to gather at night sharing stories regarding the supernatural and ghosts. There is a kind of sinful delight in being scared unless you are in one of the particular incidents. These incidents I want to mention were witnessed by me or by someone close to me. I have never witnessed anything magical or ghostly like the things we see nowadays in movies. For example, things flying or telekinesis or any other poltergeist activities. I have only witnessed people possessed or people believed to be possessed. It may be true supernatural or some mental illness. God knows, but the detail in which the possessed people act or reveal secrets has made me a believer. We dismiss it as another horror of superstition and look the other way, but these things still exist and are thriving. There are many such incidents to my knowing, but for the sake of keeping the story short, it's like long story short after the long intro, I would like to mention just a few of my experiences. If people or forum members are interested, then I might post more. In the 1980s, before I was born, a murder of a distant relative took place in our family. He was killed by his known friends over some petty dispute. In those days, law and order wasn't that strict. The government was a council of a few people and was called a panchayat. If the accused were the kin of the affluent council members, they were generally acquitted for these crimes, and such was the case here too. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, vengeful spirits are said to be the soul of a deceased person who returns from the afterlife to seek revenge for a cruel, unnatural, or unjust death subjected to torture. In my culture, where funeral and cremation ceremonies are important, such vengeful spirits may also be considered as unhappy ghosts of individuals who have not been given a proper cremation. In this case, the body of the victim was never found, and all the culprits were acquitted, thus giving rise to such spirit. 2 to 3 years after the murder, the first sign of possession started appearing on some of the sensitive members of the victim's family. First, it was my aunt who started behaving oddly. I am sure if this happened at present instead of the 80s, many psychologists and psychiatrists could have earned a fortune. First symptoms were generally mild. My aunt, who was a newlywed, started eating all the food which was meant for the family of 5. And the funny thing was, even after eating so much, she used to complain with the in-laws that she was being starved. Keep in mind, she was the thinnest and slimmest among the entire family. Second symptom came after a few days when she started demanding non-vegetarian food. My aunt, who was a vegetarian by birth, requesting non-vegetarian food, was weird at first, but since other members of the family were also non-vegetarian, they thought she must have developed an appetite for meat. The shocker was when she started stealing our country liquor and beatus, which is a kind of local cigarette, and consuming it without anyone noticing. She used to be in a constant state of hangover. Alas, after a few days, the elders, noticed something amiss, they called the village priest. The priest did notice the presence of a supernatural entity, but wasn't able to confirm its identity. The possessing soul is often a liar and very clever, and will try to disguise its identity until the very end. Realizing trouble, the spirit using my aunt as a medium told the family members that he was the ancestral god, and fulfilling his wishes was everyone's duty, thus enjoying a few days of royal treatment. My great-grandfather, sensing foul, caused called a well-known astrologer from a nearby village. This astrologer, who was a wise gentleman and had been involved in the field of the occult from a long time, was not easily fooled. Using his knowledge, he revealed that the spirit was of the dead family member who was murdered a few years back by his friends. He was able to subdue the spirit, but it was beyond his power to permanently exorcise a spirit filled with such hatred and determination for revenge. In the span of following 9 to 10 years, the spirit did get its revenge. All of the murder accused, except one, suffering huge losses in their respective businesses. So they were all, their health deteriorated, they had family issues, faced depression, eventually leading to death. All died of unusual sickness or by, and I'm going to say it's mentioning, but it's suicide.
Right.
I don't want to go into detail of how they all died in respect of the deceased. There was one accused who I think realized his mistake and pledged his life to Lord Ganesha in the village of the Ganesh temple. He devoted his life helping the needy, working the temple, and praying for forgiveness. I found out through various sources that the entity tried its best to lure the last accused out of God's grace, but its universal truth that showed no power to this entire world can harm a true follower of God under his mercy. That person died of old age just a few years back, and even I attended his funeral. As years passed, the power of the spirit had greatly increased. My aunt and the other relatives were doing fine, but they did have bouts of possession once or twice a year. That sounds really casual.
No, for real.
Yes. During those short period, the possessed were a threat to others as well as themselves. Various priests, tantrics, and exorcists from different parts were called, but in vain. One of the priests said to take my aunt to the, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce this, okay? Mihandipur Balaji Temple of Rajasthan.
Okay.
We were kids back then, maybe 7 to 8, can't remember exactly, but we too accompanied them on that trip. What I saw there sent shivers through my entire body. It still does every time I remember it. For people who don't believe in ghosts, this is the place to come where evil spirits are exorcised. So he posted a snippet from the web.
Okay.
About the temple. Basically saying where it's located. But I'm just going to kind of skim through it.
Sure.
Because there's a lot of words I cannot pronounce, okay?
Okay.
It's located in the Dausa district. It is, there are main deities, there are 3 of them in the temple. Lord Hanuman, Pret Raj, the king of spirits, and Bahirav. Thousands of devotees flock to this temple to get cured and get evil spirits exorcised. As the legend goes, the images of Lord Balaji and that of Pret Raja appeared from the Mahandipur Dam around 1,000 years ago in a valley amidst, you get it, the hills of Aravalli Range. In 2013, an international team of scientists, scholars, and psychiatrists from Germany, Netherlands, New Delhi, and some other places started a study to evaluate all aspects of treatment and rituals at the temple. So, have you guys heard of this research?
I have not.
OP is asking if anybody's heard of it. I haven't heard of it.
No, yeah.
If yes, let me know the result. Anyway, the priest hired to exorcise my aunt there tried his best, but even though he managed to weaken the entity, he was not completely successful. Regular monthly visits there, too, proved unfruitful. Next, from an advice of some relatives of other individuals who were early possessed, we took our aunt to the Gangapur Dattatreya temple, which is, it's sometimes called the Deval Gangapur, is a village in India, and it's located in the district of Karnataka. I'm once again paraphrasing because there's a lot of other words in there, a lot of details that we wouldn't necessarily understand if I were to say it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's fine.
At Gangapur, a Havan was performed. by the temple priests. Are you okay? Do you guys know what a Havan is?
Nope. No.
Okay, so Havan is a Sanskrit word which refers to any ritual in which making offerings into a fire, basically, is its primary action.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
it's a ritual with fire. It's an age-old sacred ritual, and it's for various deities. It's not just for one deity in particular. You use sacred spiritual words. They are carried to dispel the negative energies from our minds, to destroy negative life patterns, to annihilate negative effects and evils in others. OP says that they still remember this diabetic who was hardly over 45 kilograms. What the heck is a kilogram? I'm American. Did manage to injure a few priests in a fit of rage, but was eventually overpowered. It is over here that the spirit himself revealed that he did not wish to leave and wouldn't unnecessarily harm my aunt or other members who have started worshiping God. Earlier, from a relative's advice, my aunt had become a devotee of Sri Siddhartha Swami. I'm so sorry, guys. That translates to Holy Saint.
Okay.
People from Karnataka would know all about this. The entity told that he would have already succeeded in taking my aunt to the world beyond, but whatever he tried, the old man used to come beating him with a stick. So I don't know, man.
What?
I don't know, man. The old man was none other than the holy saint that I mentioned earlier, the one I butchered.
Okay.
Siddhartha Swami, apparently a god, came with a stick and was like beating the shit out, is what they're trying to say.
Okay. I can see that. I can visualize that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Bonk.
Yeah. I am glad to say that even I am a follower of teachings of this god. There are some questions in my mind in which trouble me and which I like to get answered. Is this an evil spirit? I know revenge was on its mind, but seeking justice and revenge is the tendency of most humans. We too crave the company of others. There were instances when the spirit actually helped some family members, but at what price? For example, once black magic was performed on one of my uncles by his competitive business rival. The aim was not to harm physically, but incur financial loss. The spirit using a medium revealed his plot and also helped find the hidden artifact buried in my uncle's front yard and on which the black magic was cast upon. My uncle, although he forgave the rival, but after a few days the rival only after a few days, I guess the rival's son had a head injury. There was a lot of typos and a lot of stuff, so that I'm gonna summarize it. The rival's son had a head injury after that. Okay. And he was completely fine before, but and then the rival died a few years later of liver cirrhosis, even though he never drank.
Damn.
My father was the cousin and a very good friend of the spirit's living son. The spirit actually saved my father's life once. Back in those days, televisions were a rarity. There was no movie theaters, and newly released movies used to be screened outdoors at night on a white cloth using projectors. Entire village, especially the younger audience, used to assemble at such events. Similar screening was once organized in the nearby village. After the movie, while returning home, my father was separated from his group. As it was already past midnight, they decided to travel alone on foot. He decided to travel alone on foot. There were no street lights. On his way, he saw two people walking briskly at a few distance away. There's a lot of... yeah.
Okay.
These people disappeared into the darkness after a while. My father, who had traveled on the same route earlier on several occasions, got lost. He was in a state of mental confusion. After wandering in circles for what seemed like an hour, he reached near the old railway track crossing. This place was recently famous for unaliving and accidents. Although there was a foot over the bridge, he decided to cross the tracks from below. It was here that he saw two people again and decided to confront them. Reaching near, he saw they were a couple. On closer inspection, he found out where there should have been faces, there was complete blackness. You guys catch that? Sorry, I know there's a lot of words happening. But where there were supposed to be their faces, there was complete blackness. Mm-hmm. Their faces had no shape whatsoever. But the thing was, he wasn't scared. Instead of being afraid, there was a deep desire in his mind to go and lie on the train tracks.
Oh.
Before he could do that, he was knocked out cold and passed out. In the morning, he was found near the tracks by some local villagers and was carried home. When he regained consciousness, before mentioning that to anyone, my aunt again had a bout of possession. The spirit through my aunt revealed that these two people whom my father met at night near the tracks were actually more souls who wanted to lure my father to his death. That spirit actually had to fight them to save my father. It had been so many years. Our family has expanded vastly. I haven't even seen some of my relatives for years, and I'm not even sure if some of my relatives are actually relatives at all. In such a big family, there have been 5 suicides in the last 6 years.
Damn.
One astrologer has informed us that all these suicides are related to the spirit. I believe these spirits experience more emotions than what a normal human feels. In such moments of extreme emotions, we cannot guess what one spirit will do. We haven't been troubled by it lately for many years. Last year, we visited Gangapur Temple to seek blessings, and our aunt also accompanied. There, my aunt was again possessed, and the spirit asked why we had brought her there when he had not troubled any one of us for the last many years. We told him that we were just seeking blessings, and it was just a general visit. He left immediately afterwards. So, he apologized for English being not his first language, and said he lost track of time and all that good stuff. But that's basically the end of the encounter.
Wow.
It was a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah. I was having trouble piecing things together at some point. But
it was very broken. I do apologize. I thought it was interesting. Though,
oh yeah,
so.
It's very interesting for sure. I do have notes. First of all, these kind of stories, they always seem compelled to give a disclaimer that they weren't a believer, but that quote, the world is much stranger than we know. It's always like a similar intro, you know? Mm-hmm. So I just wonder if probably in other countries, it's they almost feel embarrassed that they're coming out with that. And so they're trying to be like, look, I was the same as you, but you don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It feels like that.
It feels
sometimes.
defensive a lot of times.
Yeah. And at the beginning, it kind of read like a bit of a crime novel, which there was, I forget what exact part. I'm blanking on it now, but there was a part that was like, oh, that kind of sounded like a crime novel almost. Just the way it was worded. I have possession symptoms, hungry.
Hungry.
Because she ate way more than she usually does, and then even says she was still hungry. It's like, that's just me on a Tuesday.
But she also wanted meat.
She's
a vegetarian her entire life.
Yeah, that part. From there, things got strange because it's a different thing to be like, meat aside, she was completely different than how she usually was. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was funny that was like possession symptom hungry is like, that's me on a regular Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Same. I get it.
I just ate all this. I'm still hungry. That kind of thing. Also, so the temple you were describing kind of sounded initially like India's Vatican. You know what I mean? Like, this is where you go to get not possessed, and even they couldn't do it. Also, I was just like, so the guy just kind of stayed, and then later I was like, no, he's popping in and out. But that's crazy, and kind of really sucks to not know when someone's gonna take control of you, or like your wife or your aunt, to be like, hey, by the way, you know,
still here,
by the way. It also, of all the possessions we really talk about, it seems more of like a cordial one, like comparatively, you know?
Comparatively, yeah.
Because he seems for the most part to be very talkative and understanding. He's not trying to get the ant to do like necessarily bad things for the most part. And he's even like helping out in some instances, like you said. No, yeah, just a strange story, just a strange case.
It was very, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Any other comments before I get into pictures here?
I'm good. I think I've said my piece.
Okay, all right. So this first one is going to be that Mihandupur Balaji temple that you were just talking about with
I was hoping we would get to see this.
Yeah. Here's the exterior of that. I tried like hell to find other pictures, and they did have them, but they kept saving as like incorrect files for me.
That's weird.
It was the weirdest thing. This is the only one that saved normal.
You can screenshot them.
Yeah, but it's the same exterior. It's just vibrantly colored instead. Just instead of being like dull, it's like just the lighting was better and stuff.
Okay.
So it's very pretty. And then I have some interior shrine picture here, and someone performing a ritual in front of the same shrine pictured, or at least a similar one.
That's interesting.
If you see the fire ritual there in front of him.
Yeah.
I believe it was called was it Hamar? Can't quite remember. Hamar. I also have a close-up picture of the fire ritual as well. Just an example.
Cool.
Stock photo. And then for my last photo here, I have some train tracks in India. Like the ones, yeah.
Okay. Well, shit. Very interesting story, hun.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool.
Thank you.
I keep saying interesting, but I don't have other words to describe how I feel about it, you know?
That's fair.
Okay.
This one made me nervous too because there was so many words I couldn't pronounce and so many broken
I get that
details. But I don't want to rewrite it because that's not their story. I'm not rewriting their story for them, you know?
Yeah.
So I try to like piece together what they write as much as I can.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't written badly. Like for
no,
someone
it wasn't.
That's
it was
not
just
their
a
first
lot
language.
of. It was a lot of information about things I'm unfamiliar with, and so that made it feel like a sensory overload type deal.
And I summarized a lot of it too because I was like, not sure what that city is. I'll just say it's this, you know,
right?
Because
I get that.
It's in that neighborhood. We'll just go with that part of it.
Sure. Yeah. Cool. B, what do you got?
Man.
You said an inspirational one today?
Oh, dude, it's about to be like a TED Talk on bad days up in here.
Is it
It's
now?
going to be great.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm ready.
While perusing through Reddit as I do, I found the self-improvement sub. Was in there, you know, for my own reasons. And I found this post that I felt needed to be shared here.
Sure.
OP has titled this, "Everyone has bad days. But some people turn bad days into good lessons."
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a story, but more of a motivational speech. Turn the bad into good. We will all experience at least one bad moment or situation in our life. From this, some people will crumble. They will give up and not give life another shot. But for others, the certain bad thing will put them directly on the path to the best thing that will ever happen to them. Mistakes usually result into bad days. But when you have a bad day, remember that this mistake has the power to turn you into something better. It can turn you into a better person with a greater knowledge for the future. When you get a bad day, you can either let it destroy you, define you, or strengthen you. Bad days can easily destroy you mentally and emotionally. You don't feel like carrying on. The weight on quit shoulders is getting heavier. You're keeping those tears in and everything around you feels flat. You need a certain type of willpower and self-love to get out of that trap. It takes a lot of grit and determination, but it's achievable if you put your mind to it. Let's just say you've committed a mistake in the past. Do you want to continue doing that same mistake in the present? The answer is always no. What changes? You changed. You put your foot down. You think clearly. You're more wiser and you've put it all behind you. Those past days shouldn't define who you are today. You can't go back to the very beginning and change anything. There's one thing you can change, and that's the ending. Think of it as a football game. Your team is losing 1-0. You can't go back to start again and start from 0-0. You've got to play on and try your very best to change the end and win the game. It may not feel like it, but you've got it within you to change. if you don't like the person you are or have become, it's not the end of the world. Change can happen at any time. Don't let the negative consume you. If you think negatively, you will feed your mind over and over again, and then what? It'll be a hard task to break the habit of feeding it negativity. You will not be able to live a positive life if you keep listening to your negative thoughts. There will be no change. We all dwell on something we've done before, and it lives within us. But dwelling on the past is going to accomplish nothing, but make it worse than it already is. History cannot be erased. Your future has not been written. You write your own future. And when should you start writing it? Right now. Make the most of today. Enjoy the little things. Spend time with the family and love yourself. There's no need to worry about what could happen in the future. That's something to think about in another day. Remember, life is meant to be fun, to enjoy, learn, and love. Not worrying, feeling sad and anxious. I understand. I do understand how hard it is to turn your back on something you did in the past, and it eats you away every single day. But the only way to keep going with life and make the best out of it is to turn your back on it. Leave it to rest behind you and forget about it. Remember, life goes on without you. The clock will keep ticking. The sun will still come out in the morning. Normal life will resume and nothing will stop. How about you hop on it? Hop on the life train, as weird as that sounds, and keep on going.
Sorry.
You have nothing to lose. Get out there and enjoy yourself. My eyes, your eyes, our eyes are in the front. Why is that? Because we're prey animals? Because it's more important to look forwards than backwards. What's likely to happen if you walk forward and look backwards? You'll trip, just like in life. You won't be able to move forward in life unless you get your eyes straight ahead. Dwelling on past bad decisions you've made only allows those decisions to keep defining you. Forgive yourself and move on.
I like that. I think it's a reminder that a lot of people need to. It took a long time for me to realize that about myself. It's like, things suck. Things suck when they happen, but at the same time, they happened, right? Mm-hmm.
Forgiving myself is one of the harder things I find to do. I don't know why, but I find it really difficult to forgive myself, especially if it's in a situation where I knew better or I should have thought ahead. But I have no problem extending that grace to other people. But I struggle to give myself that same grace.
I understand that.
This post reminded me that I deserve that grace too.
You do.
Hell yeah.
Just as much as anybody else.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I think a lot of it is taught. I think a lot of us growing up were taught to like be ashamed of like things that we do, and it's hard to unlearn that. But it needs to be unlearned. Like it just because something's hard to do doesn't mean it's unnecessary, you know? No, I like that. I like that a lot. Thank you for bringing that to the table today.
Of course. For my picture, I have something that is very familiar to this group.
Yeah.
And it is a screenshot from a spoken word poem by Shane Koisigan. And it's from the spoken poem Instructions for a Bad Day. I actually have a tattoo that goes along with this poem.
Hell yeah.
But the screenshot here says, "There will be bad days. Be calm. Loosen your grip, opening each palm slowly now. Let go. Be confident. Know that now is only a moment, and that if today is as bad as it gets, understand that by tomorrow, today will have ended."
I mean, if there's two constants in our podcast, it's Stephen LaChance and Shane Koisigan.
Correct. Yep. What can I say? I'm obsessed with the dude. He's a genius. I'm sorry.
I've liked everything you've presented from so far, so I can't say I blame you. But thank you for that, B.
Of course.
I appreciate that.
Of course. I figured a little TED Talk would be nice. Something.
Yeah. And thank you, listeners, for listening.
Yeah.
And
give yourself the grace.
Especially, this was kind of it's a little heavier of an episode. Some topics where I'd say, so that was a good thing to end on.
I think so.
But you can check us out on our social medias. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we are on Blue Sky, but we are not on Twitter, and you know why? And that is because
fuck Twitter.
Fuck Twitter. We are also on YouTube. If you might be listening to us there now. If not, you can see our pictures there, like in real time. But if not, you can see them on our social medias. If you also have stories for us that you would like to send in that have happened to you, like paranormal stories or wholesome stories and stuff, or even like your own personal TED talk that like you've learned throughout your life, that'd be cool to hear as well.
Yeah.
You can send them to our email at tpibote@outlook.com or tpibote@outlook.com. All your paranormal stories, send them to, or put in the subject line there for Dalia, Dalia, and all your wholesome stories and fun times, put in there that they're in for B-E-E.
Buzz.
Cool. And once again, thank you for listening. I'm going to go ahead and lead us out today.
Oh.
As always, this podcast was based on true events.